It's actually a nice day out there, so I'm going to do an unscripted ramble before I go out rollerblading. Let's do this. So earlier, somebody asked me why in the heck gay people would want marriage. And they seem to not really truly understand what marriage is. I mean, that's the thing. What is marriage to begin with? A lot of people will try to tell you that it's some covenant between yourself and God. Bullshit. And even if it is in your religion is not the only one that determines what marriage is. Marriage is not inherently a religious institution. It's just not. It's a union of families. I mean, even if there are other societies out there that didn't have marriage, like that it wasn't called marriage, really what they had was marriage. It was two clans uniting, usually through a couple of kids getting together, that kind of thing. So it's not like marriage is exclusively a church tradition. It's not. So what is marriage really? As I say, it's two people coming together. But why do you come together? For what purpose? Is it kids, money, or is it love? I mean, come on, to those of you who are married out there, why did you get married? Was it just, wow, you're someone that I think I could not hate forever and we might be able to raise kids together, so let's get married so we're allowed to fuck? I don't think so. I would imagine that you found somebody with whom you were compatible and you fell in love and you said we should make a life together because we mesh so well. It was always about love. It was never about having kids necessarily. I mean, okay, yeah, there was probably a kids element too. Of course there was. But for the most part, it was, I love you, you love me, let's start a family. As far as I can tell, that's all marriage really is. So, to those of you who try to say that it's like a covenant with God, or that it's specifically to have children, no, it bloody isn't, and you know it. Next of all, okay, most of us who are homosexual, and you may have noticed, vegetarian over here, yeah, lesbian as the day is long, whatever the fuck that means. Point is that someday, sure, I'd love to get married if I found the right girl, and we loved each other well enough. I'd love to get married to someone. That'd be great. Mind you, it'd be great to just date for a while too, but there is something to be said for building a family. So, why on earth would I want to get married? Well, that's a valid question, isn't it? I mean, if it's not for kids, what's the point? And this person that was on my channel that I was talking to is like, well, what you want to do is, I forget exactly, it was something about money. The argument didn't make sense, okay? But they thought it had something to do with money. And it doesn't, or at least not completely. Part of what it has to do with is, legal benefits. What I had said was legal benefits or benefits to marriage, and that's probably why they thought I said money. But imagine this. You are going to a hospital because your loved one is sick, possibly terminally ill, and you are told that you cannot visit because only family is allowed. Think about that. You're not technically family, even though this is someone you live with, that you love, that you presumably have sex with. Someone who is, for all intents and purposes, family, not biologically, and because of the law, not legally. But damn it, they're your family. They're a member of your clan. They're someone you've bonded with in such a way that there's nothing else you can call them but family. And you're not allowed to see them because you're both the same sex. Think about that. Now, I know there's some of you out there who are probably going, fuck yeah, because you hate us. But imagine if it was your heterosexual mate that you weren't allowed to see. Try to empathize a little with that. Huh? Okay, so that's one reason. I mean, another reason is sort of part and parcel with this one, to remove the social stigma of being homosexual. If we're allowed to marry, hey, that's good for us. You know, that makes us part of society. That's one more thing removed that was setting us apart. And I know, again, the fuck yeah crowd is probably going, well, I don't want that. I want you set apart. I want you different. I want you outcast. Well, that's why we fight against you, obviously. But yeah, so, and that's not the only legal benefit. I mean, imagine child custody, for example. I mean, yeah, I'm sure at some point after gay marriage is legalized, it won't be very long before the first gay divorce. And believe me, given some of my exes, we're gonna want that. Trust me. But I mean, I know plenty of homosexual couples who have had children, either through adoption or, in the case of lesbians, artificial insemination, that kind of thing. And, you know, if this couple splits up after spawning, well, you're going to have to do something with that kid. I mean, in the case of a lesbian couple, I suppose you could say, well, the biological mother gets the kid, but suppose it's an adoptee. Well, how do you work that out? The kid's got two mothers or two fathers. What do you do? Marriage would sort of solve some of that. I mean, because we already have child custody laws built in to marriage. So that's another thing that's removed as a problem if you allow gay marriage. Take, for example, inheritance. I mean, money isn't completely out of the picture, but imagine your loved one that you've been with for decades dies, but you have no legal ties to them, so you don't get their stuff. Imagine the legal battles that would be avoided if we could allow wills and inheritance, like automatic inheritance laws, that kind of thing. Imagine. So, to those of you who are opponents of gay marriage, or who are confused as to why homosexuals would want to get married, well, again, we're not coming for your religion. Okay, a lot of us would probably just get legal marriages, like state-sponsored. Go to a justice of the peace or something. Have a ship captain marry us. I don't care. But, you know, most of us are not going to you and saying, we want to allow marriage to force your religion to change. If your religion doesn't want to have gay marriages in its place of worship, I don't care. I mean, obviously, I'm probably going to point at you and say, bigot, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just think it. But no one's going to force you to conform to this. It will just be a legal thing. And that is what we want, is that legal recognition and the social recognition. We don't need your religious marriage. Keep it. So, if you ask me why I would want gay marriage to be legal, those are just some of the reasons. Those are the high points. I'm sure I could get into even more nuance, but those are the biggies. Anyway, I know most of you didn't ask, but it seemed high time I made a video on this one, because I'm not sure I have, really. I know I have one, but I don't think it quite goes into this. Attacked a different area. Anyway, until next time, fellow space travelers. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. You might also enjoy my webcomic, The Adventures of Kinneara Baxter. You'll find a link in the info bar, along with a link to my Zazzle store. Buy a t-shirt today. Rating videos has been found to cause fresher breath, enhanced metabolism, and greater sexual magnetism.